Hi there, Ronnie here, coming at you with a video. We've just finished a wee mini campaign run by Giorgio using the Pathfinder 2nd edition rule system. It was a fun little 5-6 session scenario called the Magic County Chronicles. As I say, Giorgio was running it, and it was myself and Phil and Jason and Becky that were playing in it. It was a lot of fun, let's be honest. So as usual, I'm going to break this down into how did I feel about the scenario, how did I feel about the GM and playing, how did I feel about the system. What did I think about the scenario? The scenario was nuts. Giorgio's sort of remit was to do something that was very much a palate cleanser. We have been playing Call of Cthulhu, the Massa Nyarlathotep campaign, on a Monday night, and we were having a few weeks off from that because it's really intense. So the idea of this scenario was to be something very different from all the sort of dread and sort of tension and everything from Cthulhu. Mission accomplished, and then some. It was absolutely hilarious. It was set in a deliberately sort of cliche, sort of fairy tale / fantasy setting, where we were off on a quest. I was playing an elven ranger who had a background in bounty hunting. We had Becky playing a gnome barbarian. We had Phil was a half orc, yeah, and we had another elf with Jason, and it was just George. This was the first time that myself, Phil, Jason and Becky had played in the same game. Usually it's one of us running it with the rest of us playing. So this is the first time that all four of us had played together. I think Giorgio was expecting anarchy. I just don't think he expected that much anarchy. To his great credit, he handled it superbly and sort of, rather than try and stem the tide, went with the wackiness, went with the anarchy, and let it flow. And that's good GMing as far as I'm concerned. So full marks to Giorgio for that. I think there were moments, probably more than one, where he was kind of going, "Oh God," but I think he held it together really well. The four of us as players sort of bounce off each other really well, so there was a lot of back and forth and just stupidity and silliness. What has tended to happen, not really by design, it's just kind of fell into this way, was that the Monday game was kind of a serious game because we were doing Cthulhu, and then the Saturday game was something a bit more outlandish and weird and silly. At the moment, our Saturday game is Dune, which is quite serious and intense. I mean, we found a lot of humour in it, but it's that natural humour of character rather than trying to be anarchic. the kind of anarchic energy that we usually have on a Saturday game went into this one. And it was a lot of fun. The four of us bounced off each other really well. I feel very comfortable playing in that group, which has taken a while for me now. So I'm happy with that. What do I think of Pathfinder 2nd Edition? I think it's okay. I think it's an okay system. But similarly to my feelings on D&D 5th, it's a system that I found perfectly okay. Certainly if Giorgio or if anyone else was going to run it, I wouldn't be opposed to playing it. I thought it was okay. I must admit, when we were creating the characters, I did find that character sheet very daunting. It's a 4-page character sheet. It's lots of bits. Now, Becky made a point, and I thought it was a good one, that yes, it's very daunting, but there is kind of method in it. Things are all sort of laid out, but it is very daunting. But as I say, I thought it was okay. I would certainly, if someone was running a game of Pathfinder, I would certainly play. But it's not a game I would use. It's not a game I would run. It's not a game I would own. Because for me, it doesn't, and this is true of D&D actually as well. There was no point in the scenario where I was thinking, oh, that I like the way that's done. That's absolutely unique, and none of the other fantasy systems I own does something like that. That's really cool. I like that. That's interesting. That intrigues me. There's nothing there that I don't have or I can emulate. And for that reason, if I ever owned it, it would just sit on the shelf. It's never going to get played in front of Shintar. It's never going to get played in front of Dragon Age or Blue Rose. You know, it just doesn't. It's not going to be that kind of game for me. That's not to say it was a bad game. As I say, if someone ran it and I was involved, I would play it quite happily. But it's just not one I would own or run myself. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed Giorgio's game. He put up with an awful lot of anarchy from the four of us. If you guys aren't subscribed to Parageeks and Parageeks 2, where the Jason and Becky host the live streams, please do. It's nuts, and we were having a ball. Such a laugh every session. It's well worth your time to watch, I think. And back to Masks next Monday. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back soon with another video.